Okay, great. Maybe instead of diving, in complex approach, saying step by step how to do this or how to do that, because when you arrive within your application, you will find tutorials. Online, you will find also tutorials. You have the community and even social networks if you are struggling with the tool. So instead of doing something, a step by step, how to create a button, for example, or how to data bind things here and there, I think that we can have an approach where I will show you what will be the future of Rive, not in terms of 2D, because Rive it's a 2D engine, first of all, but in terms of 3D, because we can have this approach too. So what I did, and who am I? The first thing is that I am a motion designer and I'm also a developer, and this was an advantage when I discovered Rive 3 years ago. I started to animate infographics, and immediately saw that it was possible to link data to infographics. So it was like I was discovering Flash again. I mean, Macromedia or Adobe Flash again, because you could interact with the design. So that's the interactive design, and that's the main goal of Rive. That being said, we can have complex things that we can create. For example, here, it's not something that I've created, but it's on the marketplace example. So you can run this kind of things and remix this kind of things to have a better understanding of what is possible. So here, as you can see, and I love this approach, you have the possibility to see, on one hand, pretty good design. On the other hand, the possibility of scripting, because the leaves that you can see are falling randomly, which is pretty cool. Yes. Oh, you can't see my screen?
Yeah, you.
Oh, sorry. Yes. I will stop share and I will start again. The window, the entire window. How can I do that? Entire screen. Oh, yes. Sorry. Share. Here we go. So this was the example that I want to to have exposed data. I mean, what you have in the main artboard and what is data binded is exposed here. For example, there is the speed. I can increase or decrease the speed. Not exactly. I don't know exactly what I'm doing right now, but what I mean, if I'm tweaking these values, I will immediately tweak the exposed values of this design. And this design is interactive because it may follow the mouse, it may react to the click, etc., etc. So when you have this appreciation, when you see the potential of a tool like this one, because you can create games, you can create applications, you can create parts of website or a full website using this technology. Uh, Immediately, you can have in mind to push a little bit the boundaries of what you can do, since scripting is now a thing in Rive. So I will show you a 3D, a really I want to say a really simple 3D example. And when I say 3D, it's not a collection of PNG files, that would have been like a video and that would have followed the mouse. It's clearly a 3D manta here that will interact with my mouse when I have the mouse here. I don't know if it's if you can see it, but I have the meshes here. Okay, when I'm hovering, when my pointer is entering above the mountain. And now for the juicy part, I want to say, when you are on the model itself, you need to know that it's not something drawn within Rive. I mean, if here I delete the timeline, you will see everything is present in the artboard. However, it means that you need to create your model outside of Rive. Rive is not a 3D tool. Okay, so if you can find a way to create in your favorite software a 3D model, you have today the possibility to import it in Rive and to play with it and to animate it as if it was a 2D asset, okay, but with far, 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 I want to say, because I love 3D, a far more potential than only 2D. Why? Because when you are, usually when you are drawing within Rive, you will use different techniques to clip your design, to ensure that in your constraint you will have, the possibility to be in front of or behind or to make a full 3D. So it's not a headache, but you need to have a lot of skills to produce a 3D rendering using 2D assets only. And that's why I tried to find a way to import 3D within Rive and to interact with this 3D. So I will show you what will Rive propose in a short future, because I had a discussion with Luigi Rosso, the co-founder of Rive, so the twin brother of Guido Rosso, and he gave me a clue, and he, he, he explained to me that we will have what we call a blob file. So I don't know if someone heard about it, if someone already aware about what the blob will be within Rive. Blob will be a kind of file that you can call to get, the the programmatically the content. So a 3D model can be a blob file because it's just, when you open a 3D model, most of the times, for example, a Collada or it's a kind of XML format. I mean, it's numbers, coordinates, and IDs and things like that, So when I have this extension, GLB, for those who know, a GLB file is a file that allows to have a 3D model, but also an animation embedded within the model. So if I will open immediately Blender, and I will drag and drop here my the mountain. As you can see, you have the 3D model, and you have an animation already made. Okay. So thing is that you can't really drag and drop a 3D model within Rive. It's just impossible. But if you rename it, so it's like for SQL, zip files, thing like that. If you keep the extension and add a new extension named Blob, so now you can import it, as you can see, as an asset, as a PNG file, as a font, as an MP3 or WAV file for audio. And then, as you can see, you have this string saying that it's a JSON. You have the Xcode, etc., saying that the blob will allow you to keep the content of the file. So it will keep the model and it will keep the animation, and that's great. That's great, but it's not enough because you can't do something like this. It won't work. To import a GLB file within your artboard, you need to have a script. So the script that you will have will be shared probably very soon online, and it will allow you to call the, the 3D model as a node. Okay, so this node is, for those who know, this node is an object that you can display on in your artboards. And when you have a node, you can expose. So let me find my node here. Yeah, you can expose data, okay, and bind them. So these data are the data that you want to tweak. So using Luau or using the agent itself, you can say, hey, expose me all the data that I need, and I want to catch the animations from my GLB file. So my first animation will be this, the second will be that, etc., etc. That's just an example. So in this case, for example, we have the scale, okay? We have a field of view, a camera distance, if I use perspective or not, so I can completely destroy the model. The anchor points, that's something really personal. I mean, it's not a standard. You won't have this kind of things. You can, for example, just have the rotation under a rotation speed, and that's it. Nothing that you won't need. So if I have a rotation, you have this kind of, yeah, up. And as you can see, you have a rotation following the data. So what I want to say is just that when you will use the node provided in your assets, handled by this kind of scripts, which requires, so you will see, this is not the node script. The node script is here. That's the manta. And the manta will need the animation util, okay, etc., etc. And that's the node script. You have here this icon, which means with this icon, I can add, and I will delete it, for example, right now. Okay, and I will delete everything because that's just particles. I can add my node, and everything here is there is nothing really by default except maybe the color here. But I want to say that when you are using your model, you have here the node script calling this model, okay, and using this util, this file, and required by my node, I can have the manta that you've seen. So now what we will do together is first, I will ask you if you have some questions, and two, oh, I forgot something. In my example, let me load it again. Okay, everything is now gone. In my example, do I have another? Yeah, sorry, this file. I prepared a file for you guys. So here, the script, okay, the script used to handle the model, which is manta, is working. So it's a script that was given by Luigi Rosso, is working on the name of the asset, the exact name as it is here. So if the name here is Menta3, for example, it should, yeah, it should disappear. Yeah, okay, there is no more node because in the script itself, it's mandatory for the node in the parameters. Let me see here. Well, yeah, to have the exact name to display, okay, the blob, the 3D object. Now I will call another 3D model. As you can see, it's not responsive. I mean, I'm typing, I need to push play, and nothing happens because it's not skull. It's yes. Oh, it's you know, case sensitive. Oh my God. Okay, and it should be fine. And now, yes. Sorry for this. And I will rotate my X. Yes, because it's not exactly the same thing. Don't be afraid. Okay, and I will add a rotation. So now I have the exact same script using another model uh, with just the name of the model. Okay, this model is not animated, so I don't need to say animation 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not a problem. But what I want to show, let's have a smiley face here. Yeah, great. What I want to show is just that so far we can't use it. I mean, yeah, it's not ready yet, I want to say. So if I push it to a classical host link or even a Rive file, when I will open the host link, it will stay empty. It's not a bug, it's just because it's too early and we don't have uh, the possibility using Rive to display what we will be able to show in the future. I mean, the blob container. Okay, so that's why I created a Git deposit. So I created Blender to Rive 3D. Okay, this kind of matter. You can directly download the code itself, and then we will be able to use 3D now. And also, we will be able to define exactly what we want to use, how we can customize things, and what kind of animation we want to display. So I will show you really quickly an example of something. Blah, 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 blah. So team, 3D models for that. Yeah, really quickly, um, what we can do uh, when we are playing with 3D within Rive with different models, different animations, and even interactions. And then I will show you how to import quickly a 3D model with an animation within Rive using the code that I will share with you. So this is a little game that I made for what is possible within Rive using, timelines, using data binding, and using the agent here to help me, everything that I know in Rive. So this is a game. There is a sound. Oh, there is sound, so I can't hear you anymore. So now, yeah, as you can see, there is a reaction. Everything is not really scripted. You have to define yourself. For example, here I will need to click and yep. Oh, anyway. I was better when I was younger to video games. Anyway, as you can see, everything is in 3D. So every nodes within the different nested artboards, the different components are in 3D. It's not, as at first glance, we can imagine that it's just a PNG sequence. I mean, something that mimic 3D. No, that's real 3D. And now let's create together. But just before I will ask, of course, if everything is okay, but let's create together and from scratch a 3D a 3D file, a 3D project file. Um, Let me delete this, and now I think that we are good to go. Okay, and blah, 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 where I am. I just want to have my view, my split view. Okay, here it is. Sorry. So I just want to know if about the rhythm. Is it okay for you? Is it too slow?
No,
Um,
it's actually
what
it's like
about?
yeah, like moving at the right pace for me. I don't know for other people, but like for me, like it's actually like definitely coming together.
Oh, okay, great. So now I I don't know if you already experienced uh, how to create to avoid the blob file and to create right now a 3D file that you can render, share, and use in production. So I will show you. So this is easy, I want to say, because I pre-made all the documentation that you don't have to read at all because it's horrible to read, but it's here if you need it. So you will need to have Blender, and that's it. I set it up a Blender with an MCP, which is a free setup that deals with AI. With for example Claude Code. So MCP is the recommended tool because it exists for free in Blender, and here you can connect directly your MCP to the other tool that we will use. And the other tool that we will use will be Claude. Claude, because it's really good at coding. It will avoid you a lot of headaches to turn the 3D model into a Luau understandable code. Okay, and everything is on the GitHub already ready to be used. So if you don't want to install, or if you don't find an MCP, or if you're in a hurry, uh, I made a Python scripts that will be executed by Claude in your open Blender. So it's a workaround once again, and you will be able to do this without the MCP. So what you need to do is to download, if you don't want to set up difficult things, you just download the zip here at into the folder at the root of your folder. In this folder, you will have two really important files that you will copy and paste directly into Rive. And this is a gizmo. Gizmo, it's a tool that you have, I will show you for those who don't know. This is a gizmo. It's, what you will use to move a 3D scene or a 3D object. And if you need a gizmo in your project, you will use So if we want to go fast, what we will do is just, as soon as we have all the files downloaded from the Git, I will set read Claude, because sometimes it doesn't, but read Claude.md, then the prompt.md, and create my model from Blender to Rive. Okay, Tive, no, not Tive, to Rive. That's it. I don't need to be a prompt engineer because everything is already pre-made. So, okay, you have a video tutorial, okay? So if there is something missing, you can review the tutorial, and it's more or less exactly what we're going to do now. I have something, Google is stop sharing this, stop sharing that. Okay, sorry. So I have my folder already selected, and I will just accept edits. There is no risk. Just here, I will connect to the MCP server. It will analyze the 3D model, and it will also detect how many animations are present in this model, okay, in this GLB file. It can be an FBX, it would work, okay? It's just a question of having the model within Blender. A static model or an animated model, that's the same thing. So let's start. Yes, I trust the workspace. While it will turn, watching an AI coding files is not that interesting. What I will do immediately is just that, as I said, I need my helpers. So most of the time, you can have in Rive a library, and in this library, you can have assets that you already done, and also scripts. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just that I will do it from scratch. Otherwise, I can directly import relevant scripts within my project file, so I don't have to always do the same thing when I want to work with 3D. So let's anyway, let's create a blank script. I will open what I need first is these two files. Okay, so I will open here my file. Sorry, you can't see it because it's on the other screen. This is not the good. Yes, so this is how it looks. I will just copy and paste here my file, and I will rename it just to ensure that I understand everything in my uh, project file. I rename it as it should be, and then so that's mandatory. I mean, when you are copying and pasting, I will create another blank file. It's mandatory to name it skeletal and then util, because it's required by the node. It will be, you will see that it will be required by the node. Same for mesh 3D util. Okay, that's the two files which are the backbone of the setup for our 3D model. Then Claude is here. Oh, I need to approve because I told, and in the prompt, I told Claude to expose its plan before I validate them. But the plan is just, please extract me the coordinates of this 3D model from Blender and give them to me as an array, because I need this array to create animations and to have the 3D model. In a nutshell, that's it. We are not using AI in another way than just grabbing all the info from the 3D model to have them as arrays that we can use in Luau scripts, in Rive scripts. So there is 10 steps. It's a little bit, it will take maybe 5 up to 10 minutes. So I will maybe invite you to directly, yeah, to tell me from your experience, or if you have any questions that I can answer. In the meantime, I will share my screen. I will keep my screen shared here with Claude open so you can see everything. But otherwise, I'm fully open to your observations or questions or anything.
Um, all right. So for me, I actually do have a question. It's even actually more about what you did. I'm sure probably other people like have their own questions as well. You're able to copy and paste code in, right? Is that because you're using like a paid account that you're able to copy and paste code. Otherwise, you won't be able to copy and paste code because I had I was on a paid what do we call it now before, but I'm no longer
Mm-hmm.
on like the paid what do they call it now version or what are
Yeah,
they called?
Voyager or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, no, I
So
don't really know. You mean that pasting code like I did here?
yes,
Uh,
yes, actually, like I'm unable to copy and paste code. Maybe I should just try it now. Like,
uh,
like
yeah, that would be really cruel. That would be really cruel from Rive because uh, I don't think that it's a privilege to pass some code. You don't have to type everything by yourself. I mean, having the agent working for you is already a paid feature. So I would not understand why it would be relevant to not let users to pass a code from what they want. I don't get it. So is it someone can confirm that it's not possible to copy and paste a hello world from outside from a text file to
yeah,
Rive?
yeah,
You can copy and paste. Yeah. I have
yeah,
a student plan, so I copy and paste all the time because, yeah, I don't have this agent inside Rive, so I use like Gemini and Cloud and other stuff, and sometimes
Hmm.
I code by myself and I copy and paste because, yeah, it's easier.
Okay,
oh yeah. So
okay.
I just tried that just now, and it's not copy and paste. It's like for the free users, you're unable to copy and paste code, and this was one of like the major challenges I had when I was actually working on the game or for the game jam. I would literally type like hundreds of line of code over again because maybe I want to make maybe I want to try something else, and I just need to maybe get the exact same script and copy it somewhere, or let's say I made a mistake somewhere in my code. I just want to copy and paste it. Maybe I wrote the code in the wrong part, and I just want to copy and paste that code to another part. And I figured that I won't be able to copy and paste, and I'm still not able to copy and paste right now. And honestly, like it's so annoying because I mean,
Yeah, and you know what I'm doing right now? I am asking the question directly to Rive. Because I am in the Slack of Rive ambassadors because I'm uh, how yeah, I'm teaching Rive, of course, but also I'm working with Rive for 3 years now, and I don't have any kind of privilege, but I can directly discuss with the team and also with Luigi and Guido. And yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by the fact that you can't copy and paste because that's so basic. And that's at the same time basic, but really important and relevant for you to use this in any kind of. It's not just not for 3D, but for example, let's say that you have script that you've coded using Gemini, or I don't know, whatever, in Luau, or a script that you already had in the past and you had a backup and you want to use it again, uh, how would you pass the content? So for me, it doesn't make sense. So I will wait for the answer. Uh, but yeah, that's odd. That's really odd. And everything in this demo uh, is about copying and pasting the content of a file, which is splitted from a 3D model to implement it in Rive. So if you can't copy and paste from the assets that I've made here, uh, you can't enjoy 3D in Rive. So yes, I will wait for the answers, and I'm not responsible of the pricing, the strategy, or anything. Okay, it's just that I can chat with them when they are available. But I directly ask your question. I think it's important. Uh, because for me it makes no sense. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
um,
yeah.
it is one of those, like setbacks that I've been experiencing when it comes to working with scripting. Particularly for me, like I want to, like, 'cause it's not like I'm against like the Rive AI agent stuff, but it's just that for me, like, I would like to really understand, some of the concepts, and really be sure that, okay, I actually get this. Even if, like, oh, AI is going to eventually be the one writing all the code, but I want to be sure that I have like a proper understanding of what is going on. But not being able to copy and paste, like, after doing a lot of work, and you just need to be able to copy and paste something, and then you just are not able to do it. It really just sucks the life out of the entire experience. So I don't know if anybody else has a question, but I wanted to ask a question with about what you did with the Claude, like how you connected Claude to Blender. Like, so is it that Claude can do certain things with whatever we actually have in Blender, and then give us certain results, right? So it would directly have access to whatever is actually going on in our, what do we call it now, in our Blender scene, and then bring everything out in code for us. Is that what's happening? So then, if that's the case, then I know you touched on it, but I'm not sure it's really clear how Claude actually has access to our file, our GLB file. Then,
Okay.
yeah, so I'm trying to like piece it together that, okay, so let's say for instance now we already have a GLB file. We named it as .blob. Then we bring it into Rive, right? And then that GLB file that we brought in, we're still using the same GLB file to, I mean, I think it's making sense. So, we're just telling Claude to be able to read that GLB file and actually give us whatever information that is actually there. So, but I actually still lost as to where the connection between Claude and Blender is. Like, how are they getting information from each other?
Okay. So Blender is really permissive. I mean, using Python, using code, you can create a lot of things. You can export things. You can create add-ons. For example, here, if you are just in your preference, if you want to add an add-on, etc., most of the times it will be in Python, which is an accessible language. So everyone back in the days was coding for Blender and was coding in Python. And LLMs are really good with Pythons, you know. So because there is so many repo, so many distributed tools made in Python that we can say, yeah, I can say that for ChatGPT, and yeah, I forgot to uninstall it. Remove from yeah, I unsubscribed from ChatGPT for my personal reasons. Anyway, so about Claude, it's really capable to be executed. So I will show you here. You have, for example, this kind of files, and here you have the possibility to open them. Oh, I will open them with my current. Yes, it just a code that will ask Blender to execute things. And when I say execute things, it's not something risky. It just ask Blender to see how many meshes, how many dots are connected in the space, their coordinates, here, for example, is there a solid color or not, a vertex color or texture or things like that. Okay, so that's just a question of the content of the text file. So what I did is just, okay, since it's readable, since we can do something, but it's really heavy, you know, it's not a text file of 100 lines, it's 1,000 lines. So since it's really heavy, you will compact all data. And that's because I was a developer. I knew that, for example, when you have a bunch of colors, you can, instead of using the same hexadecimal or RGBA color, you can use an index saying if it's 1, it's red, if it's 2, that's the bottom and it's blue, if it's 3. So I did my best to compact any kind of data from Blender and to have all these data in this kind of file. For example, that's the animations, let's say the animations. So you have the name of the animation, the duration of the animation, and then you will have the different channels, okay? And as you can see, it's just 150 lines, but you have a full animation, the animation that you've seen before, dealing with the part. So it should have been, you know, something like this, but it doesn't matter. It's not a problem. The different parts, and that's the vertices. And in my main prompt, I ask to calculate the triangulations, the length of the file itself, you know, to compact one more time and to split the different arrays in different files. So that's why, for example, here it's manta array part A data.luau, okay? Because you can have a complex model and you will have, for example, I would say Fred part A data, Fred part B data, Fred part C data, etc., etc. Just because I reached the limitation of Rive. I know the limitation of Rive. I made a lot of tests to know how many faces we can handle in a single file. Okay, and so that's it. I mean, it's just a question of, imagine the 3D model is just text file, animations are just text content, and you just grab from Blender these texts and put them in different arrays and catch these arrays into Rive here as dependencies of the main script that is animate and handle everything. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yes. I had even though like I have to like eventually like many of these things like you have to experiment with them yourself so that you can get the nitty gritty of all the details. But from what you explained, I think I have like the overall um concept of how you were able to actually like make this 3D actually working right. Right. So that was really clear. So so basically what we have is Blender is just like a bunch of like whatever you make in Blender is just like a bunch of lines of code in Python. Then Claude can really help you take out that information and actually help you compact them into different arrays and all that. Then it's actually whatever you get from Blender that you now plug into the scripts that you have already created in Rive. So those different data scripts are connected to like some two other scripts that are actually really driving the animation. So I think that's like what you just explained. So I don't know.
And this is great. This is was what we've just obtained right now. It's not immediately perfect, but I will show you something. So let's stop the rotation, for example. That's just so that's as I explained, just my needs. Okay, so you can on your end expose exactly what you want to expose. You are not it's not mandatory. That's what I thought would be uh, handy, because it's the way that you are that most of the time we are playing with 3D in terms of position, scale, and the anchor points and the brightness, for example. Yeah, that's something really interesting. The brightness is taken in account. Anyway, so here we have the animation. Then if I go there, you will see that the animation is no more an index, it's a text. So if I change this, I think the animation by default. You can stop the animation by using animation enable true or false, okay, which is handy. So let's say I will use the swim, and where we want to land is to say that we want to publish something. So we can't see anything here, but, and I hope that, because I know that your time is precious.
Oh yeah, yeah, we know your own time is also precious as well, but we are actually like enjoying like the class and everything. So I mean, for me actually, I might not be able to say
Um,
for other people.
and no, that's fine for me. And as you can see, is that it works. So but I would, yeah, the scale is really, really big. And of course, if I, let's say that I have a field of view really important, I don't care. Let's say I want to have something like this and push it like that. Okay, and let's create a timeline, and let's have a, yeah, uh, yeah, okay. No, it disappeared. I'm stupid. What's happened with my my array? Just wanted to, okay, here it is. It was a bad keyframing. Okay, let's say that I want to do this, and then I will do that. You already know the thing, and yeah, there is maybe a problem of depth that we can solve easily, but The color can be semi-transparent, and the face expansion could be like this. And yes, so here we have this, and then we can do the same thing, copying and pasting there, and using the ping pong, we can, without any kind of condition, we can play, and it will. So of course it's not an animation that I will push. It's just a demo,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
want to emphasize that you can do what you want to do, anything that you want to do, without any kind of problem, as if you were playing with a 2D asset.
All right. So I still do have another question. Right. So recently I worked with someone that was like so to me, it was like it was a 3D artist. So he was working with a client. So they were actually making like these web illustrations for like web 3D animation for web. So the client actually wanted him to make it to be in Rive, and we had this challenge because there was not that native 3D feature. So basically, what we had to do was he had to export, export everything like a PNG sequence, and we had to now import into the Rive, and we were using like solos to ensure that one is actually being linked to the other. So like we really lost because eventually we had to lose quality because the file size was so big, because Rive, like it's basically like those PNGs actually like being compiled together. So it didn't really serve the purpose of why, one of the reasons why Rive was being used, which is like the lightweight animation. So I'm guessing with this, we can be able to um do more of animations, 3D animations for web with without having to like export PNGs. Now the what I would say the last question I have is that you've shown that we can actually expose the brightness, the colors, the rotation, and all that. So is it possible that the exact same texture that we add right in the I don't know if you can still hear me, right? Because looks like my network on for a bit.
Yeah, it's if it's about texture, I think I can say that it won't be something that we will have in Rive in a short future, because they will work on meshes, so they can apply the texture. So it's on the roadmap, from what I've heard, but I can't say that it will be in their priority. I'm not sure that a 3D is in their priority, because you, if they are playing on the 3D fields, they will have Spline, as a competitor, and Spline is fully dedicated to 3D. So I think that's 3D is the thing. I mean, as motion designer, which use Rive on a daily basis, I'm glad I'm glad to offer to my client the possibility to have some assets in 3D as soon as it's not too complicated in terms of shape. I mean, if you have, let's say, a statue or something with a lot of meshes, have you seen? You have seen the skull, the head. As you can see the different faces. Um, the rendering is a little bit, old school. So if it's old school on purpose, it's good. If you want to have a kind of look of a PlayStation 1 video game, That's cool. If you need a render with something rounded, etc., Rive is not the solution right now. Spline is offering another approach with less possibilities in terms of interactions, and in terms of data binding, it's close to zero. But in terms of rendering and following a mouse, for example, it's enough. So on one hand, you have the good quality of the rendering of Spline, or if you want to have the best of the two worlds, you would want to use web technologies like Three.js. And Three.js will allow you to play dynamically with a 3D scene or 3D objects or different objects, or even to create kind of game. Rive, the main goal of Rive, I think, and so far, it's not to offer you the possibility to do something in 3D with, the broad range of features that they have for 2D. It's a vector-based tool. You can do feathering, blurring. You can do 3D, already 3D lookalike